Couch in space!
Oh, look, it's a couch.
Looks comfortable. And it's in space! Cool! Couch in space!
Welcome to Couch in Space. As you can see, we've got a few guests here. Judy is being inundated with fluff. So this is the neighbour's dog, Bella. She is here. She is nearly 1 year old. And Poppy is 9. So, but, you know, it brings out the child in Poppy. How do you like the
vibe?
The vibe here in Couch in Space. Did you ever think there would be dogs in space?
Well, not 2 dogs. No, no, we've been waiting for it though. I think I was hearing about plants in space on the radio this morning. And they're breeding them in Melbourne at the moment, so we can have dogs bred here in Infinity Avenue.
Now you're giving away the
trained here.
I think I'm wearing the wrong kind of jumper. Hopefully that's all right. Cool. Well, welcome Judy to Couch in Space. Thank you for tolerating these 2 dogs, which are running around like crazy at the moment. But it's kind of nice.
It gives us a talking point, doesn't it? Okay, Bella.
Have you had a dog?
Never. I'm a cat person.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
your cats are not going to like you with all the dog smells on you now, right?
No, none of our cats are with us.
Oh, okay. I thought you still had 1 cat around.
No. Only in a heart. We have ashes of 1 cat.
Would you ever get another pet?
We have goldfish.
Okay.
They don't live particularly long and they're not particularly not very affectionate.
You can't cuddle a goldfish, right?
No, it doesn't work. I'm quite fond of dogs, and there's a few votes for dogs, but you know, on our family property you can't have animals or dogs. You can have cats, of course.
Okay.
So this is up north.
Up
because
north,
it's stock.
But not in your home, right? And you're out a lot too, hey? And
we're trying to be up there 4 or 5 times a year, so how do you get around that? You can't.
Not really, no.
And family animals are family animals and they want to be with you anyway. Yes. They want to go on holiday. They want to
they want to be with you 24/7. I mean, as you know, Poppy, I bring her along, you know, to Accelerating, which we'll talk about soon.
She is our emotional support.
She is, Mind you, she's mine at the moment.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah.
But I thought normally she would sit here.
Yeah, she will. And once Bella goes back home, she probably will join us more. But it's kind of nice to have the dogs around. I think it's very sweet.
I think so.
Yeah, she's just wandering around. So tell us your story, Judy. So just to give people context, you know, I've met you through Accelerating Aotearoa, which is based in Otara, which helps the community there. It's a charity organisation, supplying food and clothes and emotional support, psychological support, social services.
Yeah.
You've got your own We Otara podcast as well, which has been going for a couple of years.
Yeah, which is maybe nearly 6 years now.
What?
Since before we set it up during COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah, amazing.
Wow, that is huge.
Took a while to get them money for the fancy lights and microphones and stuff.
Yeah, don't look at these lights aren't that fancy.
Well, they look fancier than what we've got out there now. Anyway, it's not about the gear, it's about the talk.
Totally, and you know, how important is it, do you think it's been, for the community to have a voice such as like the We Otara podcast? Have you noticed a difference in how people share themselves and their stories?
The main reason why we set it up, of course, was that we were trying to, you know, as we could see, you know, the capacity for local news being eroded by the state, and just by, I guess, funding availability, etc. But we thought it was really important for Otara to be able to tell its own stories. So we said this would be, you know, where our people tell these stories. Yeah. And we've had some amazing podcasts over years. I've stepped back from a little bit. Because I was sharing with you this morning that whole thing about, I think this is the first time I've been the guest.
Yeah, great.
It's quite a good crowd pleaser.
What a nice break of this thing.
Anyway, Yeah, so that local stories. So quite often we have people will ring me up and say, "Hey, can I make a podcast over the weekend?"
Yep.
We just arrange for them to get the keys, and that happens. And sometimes people are telling their stories just for their own family as well, which is so
Yes.
they don't go for publication. And then we get the old person telling their stories for themselves, like that poor guy that poor old Vinny survived a few times. You know. But I think it's
But it
important.
is supporting.
Yeah.
You know,
Having
you
a
want
voice.
to represent everyone in the
We do.
community, and people can decide whether one they want to listen to it
Yeah.
or to learn something from them. But
Indeed. And some things, though, you know, just to be clear, that we don't always publish, is it?
Yeah.
Is that what you call it, publishing?
yeah,
Publish the podcast. So
Yeah.
sometimes people just want to record what they're thinking about.
Yes.
And yeah, I think it's been a wonderful, wonderful tool, and we really enjoy the opportunities. In fact, I spent quite a lot of time thinking about who the next guests might be.
Yes.
And most recently with that podcast, we've been exploring, and I don't know if I've talked about this with you, it's my mentor in this space,
Okay.
but exploring the idea of having the voice in the conversations, in the information in the ether, but also physically having them available to communities. So, for example, we've been running a recent series on the legal system in New Zealand, and my vision was initially what I dreamed up with our local community organiser, Katane. What we were saying was, I'd like there to be a toolbox for communities to go, well, you know, what happens when you get that phone call from the cops?
Yes.
You know, we've got your son, he's locked up in the ADT, or ADC, whatever it's called, Mount Eden. What do I do next? What are my rights? What are my responsibilities?
Yeah.
And there is no toolbox for community. So that was why we've had these two amazing young lawyers who have come and podcasted for the last few weeks with Vin, all about, you know, family law. How do I get my kids back? My daughter's a drug addict. I've got my children. I've got my grandchildren. How do I, you know, get some help to do that? Because I'm retired.
Yeah.
I hope that never happens to me, but it's a desperately difficult place, and where more and more of our nans are out there existing.
And in trying to understand the legal system, just
You
even
need
just
a
making
hand, a helping hand.
having someone who talks, this is what this is and this is what it means, you know.
Yeah, and so that's exactly what's happening. We've got, like, you know, the lecture, as it were, or the workshop online, and then people can say, well, I'd like to see that woman
Yes.
at our clinics on a Wednesday, which is amazing, really.
It's
Quite
so
exciting.
awesome that you offer that service. There you go. Bella's yes. There you go. Yep, she's been a good guest.
Fabulous.
You can take her
Keeps
now.
all very calm.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Dog rustling, if that's what's happening now. It looks like dog rustling. We should flip
wrangling.
the camera around.
Dog wrangling.
So, yeah, powerful, impactful, everything I always hoped it would be, really.
Yeah.
And, you know, the work that you've done with, you know, our young Vinny, who's the podcaster himself.
Yes.
Creating these, you know, capturing the school holiday programs, for example. People have
The
no
content
idea
creation, that's right.
It's
And now
incredible.
it's for all to see, right? You know, people know where the effort goes and what it does for the kids as well. You know, their eyes lighting up when they go rafting and climbing or doing things
Podcast
like
when Poppy takes to the kayak. Yes, I can see how excited you were. You loved every minute, didn't you? That's not what Daddy told me, but never mind.
Yeah, she did well.
Yeah, so very special. Yeah, and telling our story the way we tell stories, the oratory, which is really important too, I think.
So it fitted in perfectly then, hey, having an oratorial content creation machine at your office.
Yeah.
And it's being used, at least once or twice a week. So
Yeah, incredible, really.
pumping them out.
And somehow having the resources to, you know, to keep that going too, which is,
and people knowing about it too, and it's starting to spread the word, right?
Yeah. Indeed.
So you've come from a very fantastical corporate world. That is this, you know, I don't know that
we're
much
calling it
about you,
fantastical.
but you have told me some stories. Hey, it was fantastical. Like, I mean, you mixed
Every
and
girl's
mingled
dream.
with, you know, the leaders of the world at that time. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, it was 20 years or so ago, but ultimately...
A bit longer.
Yeah.
Well, no.
But how did you transition? I want to know your journey from being in that corporate space and, having access to, I guess, a lot of prestige and a lot of money, to then deciding, no, this is all bullshit. What actually fills my cup is giving back to community.
Yeah.
But can you let us know
How did that
how you
happen?
started? How did you, as a young wahine, how did you get into, I want to be part of the business sector in the first place?
I went to university for a very long time,
Yeah.
and I thought that would give me a ticket to any job I wanted.
Studying what?
I studied maths and education and Māori studies and
In university?
Pacific studies, yes. Te reo Māori, criminology, when I did education, most likely latterly counselling. Yeah, no, it was a great time. I immersed myself in the joys of the academia.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
That was something just...
I followed my heart, really.
Yeah, okay.
And, I loved maths, and I still love maths. Numbers is kind of one of my happy
Really?
places. Yeah. Sudoku, I've reduced it to a moment. Can you get the medium under 5 minutes? I'm nearly there now.
A savant in Sudoku. I see all the numbers right there. Okay, done.
But anyway, I decided that, the whole math thing. I mean, I taught math and English at, and I guess that was a segue slightly into the different world. I taught at Parry, Parimaru, which at that time was just a maximum security prison, so it was a bit of a gnarly place for a young girl, and at Mount Eden as well, which was just with the short-term guys.
This was
as a
normal
medium.
prison, right? Male prison or female prison?
No, it was all male. I didn't ever work with female. I think it didn't.
Why did you work there? At what capacity?
Well, what I was doing was I had to write a dissertation, and the dissertation you had to come up with a good idea. Mm-hmm. And my idea was, go back. I was teaching. That's not right. Must have happened at the same time. Okay, so for my dissertation, my hypothesis was that education would positively impact recidivism,
Yes.
the potential to reoffend.
Okay.
And so then I became involved in that. I was trying to make a buck because I was a student, oddly enough.
Yep.
Waitressing is not what it's cracked up to be, but a great foundation for youth. But
Well, service to society, just in a different way.
I was doing a bit of relieving teaching, and then I also was teaching kids to try and get them through the beginnings of ETA and all that kind of thing. But so I just took that whole syllabus with me, thanks to the amazing Mark Lyon, who's now a very successful lawyer, but he was my boss in those days, letting me use our materials to teach, maths and English, so people would have school certificate and university entrance. So that was really meaningful.
Yeah.
So, and at the same time, I did my research. And some of those people are still around. There's one of the guys that comes through our food bank that remembers me from Parry.
Really?
And
oh my gosh.
Which is.
You remember him as well?
No, I remember his friend, but
Okay.
he said the friend's living down the line somewhere, but I always feared he'd be dead. I remember these guys, that they fronted me and said, well, what are you going to do for us? What are you going to do for Otara? Which was pretty interesting.
Okay.
So imagine my surprise when I ended up in Otara.
In Otara. Right,
So there's So from university, I went eventually over a few hops. I went through sales and pharmaceuticals and ran a few crews in different spots there.
Okay.
So
As like a sales rep, or what did you do?
No, I was a sales manager.
Okay.
Anyway, and from there, I don't know where else we're going to go here. A long story. I'd have to review my CV, sir.
Yeah,
I'm so
okay.
sorry.
No.
But eventually, I was landed in telecommunications where I was marketing.
Okay.
And there I got to do a bit of major event stuff. We created this television program, which was... we didn't used to do remote television in those days. It's hard to believe because there was no... Yeah. So we launched The Budget over television in multiple venues, so Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch.
Okay.
We had Television New Zealand behind us.
Okay.
They had these huge units on each site
Yeah.
that did all the comms. It was quite a feat.
So it's a big outdoor broadcast setup, was
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Huge.
Wow.
Well,
for the
unbelievable.
budget.
For the announcement of the budget.
Right.
Ruth Richardson and
Okay.
the other dude, who was here Prime Minister,
I don't know.
9 children. Not Bill Burt, sure, it doesn't matter.
Before-
Anyway, I remember Ruth Richardson.
Before my time.
So we worked. Yeah, that was pretty exciting. Got a bit of an
Yeah.
appetite for that. What
Right.
happens if you bring all these huge organisations together?
Yes.
What can you create?
Yes. Right.
Yeah. So fortunately, I had Telecom had my back. So
Right.
the rest was
Good one
just
to have.
yeah. And from there, one day someone tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Oh, there's this little users group you might be interested in being part of. Do you want to be our first woman director?" And I went,
Oh.
"Well, I suppose so." And in the
have
fullness
to.
of time, I became the chairman and sat as chairman of 2Ns for 7 years, which was
And 2Ns did what exactly?
Telecommunications Users Association. It
Okay.
still exists today.
Right.
It was a collective of telecommunications users. We ran educationals. People didn't understand the power of
Yes.
networking and the power of
Which is
the humble telephone.
the
Because we
big
were just
thing these days. Yeah, this is before
Yeah.
LinkedIn and all those kind of
Oh,
things.
absolutely!
eh?
It was before email.
Yeah,
I remember I used to
right.
do
Oh my gosh.
presentations on email. It was hilarious. And from there, I was very fortunate to be invited to sit on the Y2K task force when we tried to explain to New Zealand what would happen
Oh,
at
right.
midnight.
Yes. Okay.
I was
gosh.
about to give birth to a child, so I have very clear memories of that time. I think I was the last person
You gave birth
standing
to
in
your
the
own
world.
Y2K virus, did you? That haunts you until this day.
Indeed. She's a marvellous little person. Anyway, so from those they're really solid foundations
Yeah.
and exciting and honest and true foundations, I think, for me. But at the end of that, obviously, given that I was about to give birth, I'd found someone I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. So we did figure out that it wasn't going to happen if we continued the lives that we had, where
Yes.
I spent a huge amount of time travelling. I was doing a lot of work with APEC,
Yeah.
and also for my daytime job as well, not to mention the 2Ns job. So
Yeah.
yeah, and had a few experiences there too. I remember I did ring my now husband to tell him that I'd been arrested in Russia.
Okay, you need to unpack that one. Why are you in Russia in the first place? What
For an
were you
APEC
doing?
meeting.
Okay.
As I explained to the border official, I was a
Yes.
guest of the government, and this is how you treat your friends.
Right. Okay. This was in what year was this?
2010 maybe?
Okay.
Oh
It's not
no.
that long ago.
No, maybe not
15 years
2010,
ago?
earlier than that.
Earlier than
Because
that.
it was part of my sort of moment.
Okay.
Without dwelling on any of that too
Yes.
much, I refused to play the bribe because that's all about bribery in many of those then communist countries.
So a bribe for what?
I wasn't clear about what the bribe was. They just wanted, greenbacks.
Okay. Oh,
And I
right.
said, well, you can have it on my credit card, but I need that money. I said, I always used to travel with $1,000 in
Yeah,
American
okay.
dollars, and so you didn't have to use a credit card where you couldn't. And they wanted a substantial portion of that to cross the border, and I said, hell no.
Oh,
And
for
so,
the
you
Lord.
know,
Okay.
it was like a movie set. I can still conjure it up in my mind. Anyway, ringing my husband at $17 a minute to say, honey, I'm in trouble. He said, well, honey, I'm in trouble too, because he'd just got back from Singapore and had some desperately awful tummy bug, was lying on a on a stretcher in A&E at Auckland Hospital. And we're going, and what about the baby? So I think that was, for me, that was my turning point where I'm going, this isn't going to be worth it, that sort of triangle of love thing.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact I also had a son. Anyway, and for Tony it was sort of similar too. I think he did an overnight trip to Phuket,
Yeah.
which is, the same order of bullshit, really.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
really is.
Is that, I don't know.
All this
yeah.
screaming around the place, and I've been to so many countries but never been past the fancy hotel basically, and what they want you to see
Yes.
in
right.
those
okay.
countries as well, rather
Yeah.
than what's going
Doing
on
a
really
city tour.
truly.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
that led to some thinking too about what's really truly happening here, and we said together, well, we're going to walk away from that. We had a house. We had a baby. I had my son. What else do you need, really? And I think you get sucked into that work thing about got to have the latest phone, the latest car, the latest laptop, and all those things need refreshing at least once a year. And it's just rubbish. It's that rampant consumerism, and we just think that's the way life is. Not to mention spending, not so much the public purse, but corporate purses on a regular basis with ridiculous dinners and thinking $250 a person, even in those days, was okay. No, it's outrageous. We think if we spend $100 between us, it's outrageous. What was a different life?
$7.50 on a fish and chips for the family night.
Well, and the people that come into the to get food from us because they've got no other jolly food. There's no fish and chips for them on family night.
Right. Which just goes to show the layers and tiers of people's experiences on this planet, right? It can be such opulence, or it can be so far from that it's just the bare necessities, and sometimes you don't even have the necessities, and that there's a huge discrepancy, not just globally, but locally. Right? And this is what you've been trying, or been working towards, probably, with Accelerating, which is just,
Listen, I've seen these other podcasts, and you lie down quietly the whole time. There's no kissing.
She's so hyper.
There's no kissing. So we'll have kisses afterwards, okay? We'll just kiss later.
Yeah, as I was saying, you're trying to bridge that gap, right?
Yeah.
So with the haves and
it's not just that. It's actually, firstly, you have to acknowledge there's a gap, and that's what we felt.
But when you're in your own little bubble, you don't really know that there is a gap, right?
Well, no, I think I did. I did know.
But it's
other
not to a
people
point
don't
where,
see,
I want to do something about it.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, there's a gap between the people that have less than you, but there's a huge gap with people that have more than you, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like, well, you can never win. Yes, you have a fancy house, but your neighbour's got 10 fancy houses and, and a private jet kind of thing.
Do we care about that? No.
Well, depends which way you look,
We've got no
right?
room for a helicopter on the back
Most
lawn now.
people that have one house care about the person who's got 10 houses. They want to be like those. They don't look behind and say, hey, I want to bring up my fellow man up to where I am having one house. It's just the way you look at it, isn't it?
I guess so. If you want to look at yourself and go...
Well, this is the problem, though.
So.
People don't like to look at themselves, right? They'd rather aspire someone who they see is more successful. And this is the whole consumerism
Well, I think that's
problem,
a sickness. Yeah.
Oh, totally.
It is a sickness.
And it's a global sickness, isn't it? There's never enough. There's always more and more.
Yeah. So, rather than challenging the universe, I think we challenged ourselves and said, what are we going to do about the fact that we're really lucky and we've got something to share?
Yes. Wow.
And challenging the universe.
I mean, things like that. When you're on the corporate train, did something happen that made you aware or to want to really step back? Because most people would be too scared to let go of, I've been building this for so long. What happened, Judy?
What happened was that I chose a different path because I said it was enough. And Russia for me was my enough. For Tony, the overnight to Phuket was enough. I don't want to be that person. It's rubbish.
Okay.
It's really rubbish. And I was really scared.
Yeah? About what?
In Russia.
Right.
I was really scared. And,
About what? What scared you?
What the hell was going to happen? I'd probably seen too many damn movies. It looked like a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You'll be detained or be...
Yeah, well, I was being detained. They took my passport.
Tortured and things like that. Okay, right. So the
Apparently.
huge powerlessness that you experienced, right? Someone could just take that away?
No. It was, I don't want to do this again. I think was more to the point.
Okay.
Not power. No, it wasn't like a...
Because you said you were scared. That's why I thought...
I was scared.
Because someone can just take your passport and you don't exist, right? In theory.
Well, yeah.
Your identity is
and
gone.
we've seen the movies.
And you're at the whim of the person who took your passport.
And Putin had just taken... he'd just been elected.
Yep.
And, that was just before they poisoned all those people at the ballet. And while we were there was an attempt on his life.
Okay, right.
Yeah, like 200 people were killed by poison.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like 1 week out of there. Anyway, that's not what this is about. This is
another
what you
podcast.
said. What happened? I'm going. I don't want any more of that.
No,
I want to
exactly.
be.
Yeah, yes.
I want to be a wife and a
Yes.
partner and a mother. And I hadn't really been
Getting
doing
back to what
any of that
matters,
much.
hey?
Yeah.
Right.
And then I want to be an active member of my society. And Mum and Dad have been those kind of people.
Right, so you had role models in that
yeah.
area. Okay.
And I had my sense of identity.
Yes.
And I think, I always knew there was more to know about who I am.
Yeah, yeah.
But mostly I really wanted to be just a real person. I didn't want that rubbish in my life. And it was quite hard realising, because in that corporate world people define you by who you work for and what your job is. And that's why there's all this frantic swapping of cards. Well, I refuse to carry a card now. It's just rubbish.
It is.
It is. And looking back over my shoulder, if you can't be yourself, and I guess that other thing which is quite important to me anyway is I don't want to be towing the line that I don't believe.
Yes. Just because it's a status quo and that's
because
what
it's
society expects. Right?
Expected by some superior.
Yeah.
And you think about, recently I came into that situation as well, where somebody's asking me to do something I know is not right. And you need to retain the integrity to
Yes.
walk away.
Yeah. Where's your foundation? Hey? Yeah. What are you willing to accept and where do you draw the line?
Yeah. So looking over my shoulder, I guess, strong foundations at home, a wonderful opportunity for great education at school, but also great education experiences at university. And then some really solid business experience, which formed like a background of a carpet, if you
Yeah.
a rug.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. A magic carpet, perhaps.
A magic carpet ride. Well,
Yeah.
you've been on the magic carpet ride ever since then.
Yeah.
So
And
what
it's
made?
not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No.
That's why I'm astounded that you were brave enough to make that move.
Well, Tony did sell his company.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we were poor, but we had no income.
No.
And I think that made us feel brave enough to go and do something.
and you had a roof over your head, and
course
you had
we did.
enough for food
Yeah.
and petrol,
well,
so you
as
could
we,
live
if we'd
comfortably
had to pay
enough.
rent, we couldn't have done it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I think no one had ever said to us that we'd have no cash at all for 20 years, but we seem to have popped out the other side.
That's the price, though, isn't it? It's,
Yeah.
Because
And-
if you wanted to, you could. You could go
Yeah.
back to the corporate life, get another company. You know how the system
Had
works.
a few taps on the shoulder for jobs.
But you tried to do,
Yeah.
well, you decided to do things differently.
Yeah, we did. And create a path that maybe can create some connections. I would look at some of the amazing young people that are coming on the journey with us. And we have been able to make a difference. And for me, as a personal opportunity, meeting my relatives that have been taken, somewhere in where our families weren't close anymore, ended up taking in a different situation, and yet now we've come back together and we're close. I mean, what a gift is that? How would you even know?
That's the best gift in the world. Yeah.
It is.
If there's one thing you want to learn in this life, is to love and appreciate the people around you.
Yeah. I mean, I feel so humbled, but so inspired by that opportunity, and really fortunate. Yeah, so it's just about digging your heels and stepping forward.
Yeah.
It's all about taking that next step.
Yes.
And had many sleepless nights about how to make things happen, but
And looking back, do you regret making that decision?
no regrets.
It's a stupid question, I know. And as
Never
you
a
said,
regret.
Even
And,
with all the
yeah.
other hardships and things and dramas, but you wake up every morning and you fill your cup, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what makes
no
you a
regrets.
role model. That's why I'm attracted to what you do. It's like, wow, this is a person who does what her heart feels is right.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring, and all you have to do is just be yourself, right? And be true to yourself. That's the biggest thing.
Being
a lot
true.
of people act,
Yeah.
oh, I should be true for this person. That's not what it is. But when someone is, you can forgive everything. You know, I may not agree with, you know, the way you do it or how you do things, but it's such a small part of what the human experience is in what you, I don't know, adding some sort of inspiration to your own way of living, you know, and I'm going through that journey. I'm trying to figure out what my heart purpose is, and I've stepped away from the corporate existence as well to a certain point, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that, and I'm really wanting to explore people that have done that as well. So this conversation
Well,
is
that's a fun thing. isn't
it's
it?
a fun thing,
Fun
but
fix.
it is a no man's land. It's a wasteland, and you go, you know, okay.
Who
I
else
still
is taking that step?
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. And where are the role models? And do they live? You know, do they still have a roof over their head and food in their belly, or do you have to give up everything and become a monk and live in the hills, kind of thing, just to find your own essence? When really the balance is between those two, isn't it? And so you'd have to make that decision, you really have to look at yourself, don't you? You have to look straight at yourself and say, no, I'm better than this, and things will be fine. I'm going to stay true to my heart. And you look at this, it's been, what, 20 odd plus years,
25, I think, yeah.
and you're still going strong.
She's more than 25.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's start. How did you come up with Accelerating Aotearoa? What?
That was a bottle of wine.
Otara. That was a bottle of wine.
Yeah, the
alcohol induced.
Auckland Regional Council had, so there was some cash at the beginning. They had some cash to do something about what they called Strategy 7, which was all about the IT sector that no one knew too much about back then. But how could we grow? How could we, in fact, the words, which still stings my soul, how would we harness Māori and Pacific talent for that purpose?
Okay.
So, and now I was thinking about horses and just it's all a bit unsavoury in my, it doesn't ring true in my soul,
Right.
but that's half of the issue. But they had 250 grand to help do that.
Okay.
And I used that as a foundation for some funding from the Tertiary Education Commission, who let us set up some bits and pieces. On the way, there was a bottle of wine that said, what are we going to call this thing? So that's where Accelerating Aotearoa came from. I remember one guy came up to me one day and said, that's a bit Mary, isn't it?
It's a bit Mary.
You're on my team. Gosh.
Mary
Anyway.
Aotearoa.
Anyway,
Another bottle of wine.
I didn't drink it all on my own. It was with a very inspiring, clever woman who helped me at the very beginning. And then you always wonder if you should name these people, but I haven't seen her for a while. Yeah, and then I remember standing talking about Accelerating Aotearoa. No. Maybe we started off with Accelerating Auckland.
Okay.
Yeah, we went, and then I was in Timaru at some conference, and I was, because it took a while to tear myself away from that stuff. It was a local government event, and I was talking about Accelerating Auckland. I realised that wasn't going to work, so that's when we went with Aotearoa.
Okay.
And then, of course, we became part of the Mayor's Task Force for Jobs, and that was Len Brown in 2010. And he'd assigned Arthur and I to, who was a councillor, Auckland councillor at that point, to look after this collaboration. And one of our current board members actually, he looked at this group and he said, "Oh, this group needs Judy." He rang me up and said, "Well, Judy, come along." That was Philemoni. Amazing. Anyway, still a mate, still on our board, your fellow board member.
Yeah.
And then, so I said, we'd been trying to deliver holiday programs and some kind of thought leadership out of a movable ship, and I had this crazy idea that because things were public assets, they should be for the public to use. So we were trying to do them in Manukau City in what I call the Elephant House, the round building that's just been refurbed.
Oh, okay.
And there was so much hoo-ha.
Really?
It was hilarious.
Okay.
I remember one day we created a council emergency
Yeah.
because some child dropped a felt pen on the carpet, and there were men arriving in fast cars and rushing about, and it was like,
Okay.
as I said to the woman who had arranged the council emergency response, always wondered what a council emergency looked like, and now we know it's about 3 inches of felt pen on a carpet.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Alarming.
Very.
Anyway, it was difficult and we needed a place to call home. And so
Yes.
Arthur said to me, okay, Judy, I'll help you find a place.
Okay.
So he used all his power and might to try and organise, because I was aware there are many council properties that didn't have people using them. They were just locked
Right.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
And I identified a few, but in the end we couldn't negotiate anything. So he said, well, I've got a building that I'm not using at the moment. You can have that for a year for rent free.
Oh,
And
great.
that was 15 years ago.
Wow, and been there ever since.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's got its imperfections, but it's home. It's got beautiful spirit, and
It's
just
a
needs to
very
be twice the
unassuming
size.
place.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is.
the
Yeah,
kaupapa is unassuming, really, isn't
totally.
it?
Yeah, true. Yes.
And humble. Humble is unassuming, I suppose, isn't it? But spirit-filled too, I think. People say they feel a sense of calm when they come there.
Yeah, it's something I couldn't put my finger on it, but yes, it does. It invites you. It invites you to build and be better and be more open, and it's all inclusive, which is great. No matter who, whether you arrive with a Porsche or you're arriving on your skateboard, you can walk into those gates
Or someone
and
else's
you're the
skateboard.
same. Yeah, you're just okay. Help yourself to something
Yeah.
here, or
So
you want
that,
some help.
yeah, and that is part of, I guess a nice way to round this off was, the honour of creating these friendships with people that just somebody you'd pass on the street otherwise. And I was thinking
Yeah.
about that dear lady that, we went to her house eviction last week,
Yeah.
and it, as you know, it clobbered me. Fortunately, Tony came with me, but the fact that you'd need 35 public servants to dig somebody out of their house is alarming.
Right.
And then what happens to them? I mean, where is the public service when with an old lady that's got no home, no possessions, no food?
So what you're saying, they're using 35 public servants to get someone out of a home.
Well, except that I got her out of the house, of course.
Yeah, but they're not using 35 public servants to try and get someone into a home. Is that
Well,
where the
no.
discrepancy
I'm
is?
just saying you don't need 35 public servants to get someone out of their house. They could have given all that money to Accelerating Aotearoa.
Yes, and help
I
a
could
very
have
broad
helped her.
community.
Yeah, and I could have spent that on somewhere for her to stay. But I mean, as it
Yeah.
was, she got tipped into some emergency housing. I mean, the injustice is overwhelming. If you go to emergency housing, it has no bedding, no cooking utensils, no cutlery, no eating utensils. And if you're lucky, you might get $150 when you come out of your emergency situation for all of those things, plus some clothes if you've got none.
Okay.
I mean, that's a pretty ghastly situation. I just think we need a much more solid view of reality to use social services to support whānau.
Where do you think the biggest gap is? Why?
Well, that's what it looks
why
like when
20
you...
years later, does it seem that there hasn't been a huge change in that? What's the hold up? Is it?
I don't think I can speak to that because we've had a couple of different governments with different viewpoints.
No.
I'm not going to blame the government. I just think people don't understand.
No,
I think that,
I don't think it's a blaming game. So we're living in a system that obviously is really difficult to fix, or is it not a system? Is it just an attitude?
It's broken. Well, I think because there's too many people with their $250 a head now, probably $800 a head. I don't know. With
the
their
lobster
fancy
was
dinners
great,
and fancy
Judy.
cars.
But the lobster was great.
Yes, I don't remember what we ate then. I remember drinking old whiskey
Champagne.
at the end. I felt embarrassed even then. So the kids, if you start with children,
Yeah.
the children in Otara don't go to school, you know that.
Yes. Yeah.
So something like a 30% attendance or something like that, and everyone's just blind to it. And so then
It's in the too hard basket, isn't it?
yeah, and then that's how you end up with 8 or 10-year-olds selling marijuana at school if they do go. They
Yeah.
pop in to do a few sales for Dad.
So why do you think that is? Why is
Because
the
Dad didn't go to
attendance?
school either.
Okay, so
And Dad is just, I don't know. Rather than give it
how can you
names.
fix? No, but let's keep it like. How do you fix? Because you need to fix Dad in order for the children to have the role models to do that. Or do you ignore Dad and put your eggs into the children and hope they make different decisions in the
And is
future?
that us or is that the
And
government?
does that work or does that not?
Okay, so I think fundamentally we are without those of us who are Indigenous, who identify Indigenous to Pacifica or more closely Aotearoa, many of us have little connection to our ancestry.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in the 60s, where people came from the far north and came from the coast to beckoned by the jobs, and that happened from the Pacific as well. The milk and honey story, which is still, of course, getting sold through. Anyway, so those families and so those people are now grandparents, and many of them are dead. So the next 2 or 3 generations that have followed them, great grandparents, are without a knowledge of who they were. So if you think about mana, self, I would define in this moment as self-assuredness
Yeah.
and connection to who you are. There's a whakatauki that says if you know where you came from, you know who you are, you know where you're going. But that compass point's gone.
So they're basically without a foundation.
Yeah, the foundation of skills, the foundation of knowing strength,
Yes.
knowing that you'll get out of that shitty place in Russia.
Of connection,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. When that's gone,
And Indigenous practice, which of course reinforced all of that stuff. So I guess that's part of what our holiday program is all about, of course.
yes, yeah.
Who are we?
Yeah.
Well, we're people of the ocean, which is why the kids are now confident.
Do you find
Oh,
this,
waka.
this new generation is a lot more confident now with who they are?
Is that generally, or the kids that we're working with?
Yeah, the kids you're working with.
I love seeing the confidence grow. I told you. Yeah.
Something I've noticed, that the community and the youth that are there, yes, they don't have the latest and greatest things and opportunities that life can possibly offer, but there's a certain strength and pride, though, within their culture and what they do and how they hold themselves. And that is like, when we take some of these youth to these corporate events and you see them stand up in front of these people, and being able to talk with their own sense of pride and confidence and getting really good answers and being admired by these people, this is worlds apart, but there's a connection there. And all it is just human to human. It's not one is better than the other, just one is different to the other, and both sides have a mutual respect and also a curiosity about each other. Because, oh wow, that's your life. Oh wow, that's your life. Oh, that's cool. But that connection. And how do we do more of that?
Well, you think about that actually. That story I told you last week about being at the cocktail function.
Yes,
and
that's right.
And here's this amazing young woman talking about who she is and what she does and why it's important.
And how dare she have the confidence to stand there? That's not her world. Well, it's like me
just
going to
love it.
Otara, the corner, and going to, hey bro, how are you?
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, how wonderful.
But
that she's gone to that jolly conference that you and I are playing hooky from today. Alone.
Right. Oh, that's
Quite
right.
confident.
Yes, she did go.
Yeah, well, I guess
I
so.
hope so.
Yeah, she told me she was good.
Okay.
How lucky we are. And people, those are our future leaders,
That's
of
it.
course. Absolutely, our future leaders.
And what a pat on the back for you, because you allowed that to happen and
But it's
flourish.
not about me.
No. But if it wasn't for
I take
accelerating,
great joy from
but
seeing.
these are the people that it's been a freaking long road. I mean, you've known her since she was a baby, and now she's come up and presented at this person's. So she is the next generation, and imagine if she can do this, what her kids are going to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you
Teaches them
break
to have kids.
the cycle, isn't it?
It is how you break the cycle.
But it's a long
But what
game.
about all the kids that she's going to touch on that journey, which is why...
Exactly.
Yeah, she's amazing. In fact, I think you should do a podcast with her.
Yeah, absolutely.
It gives me just so much great joy to see that. But we need hundreds.
I know.
Hundreds
And
of
it's
kids
a
like that. And how can we do that?
And it's not a quick fix. It's not this funding will create this outcome.
No.
It's all about chipping away at it and having consistency in the game. And unfortunately, this is where all these models I see are falling down. There's no consistency. Yes,
There's
this
commitment to it,
initiative is there for 4 years, then it disappears.
Or 4 months.
Or 4 months. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a couple of $100,000. Print some T-shirts, have a couple of workshops.
Yeah.
Kids go along for a free feed. Great, and then they're off again, and there's no consistency. Then they wait for the next one.
Yeah.
And you've broken the mold in that way, because there's not that many that can say they've been around for as long as you have. Been a consistent place for the community that people are still going. And now, oh man, you're getting some rewards, Judy.
Yeah, it does feel we are, but we've been very fortunate in having, attracting people like you. Yeah, I mean, you inject this energy and excitement, and we're so lucky that you've been with us, Daniel. I really appreciate
like
that.
I said, I think I'm the lucky one that I get to see that, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, whatever, Judy.
You and that hound of yours. He's now
the hound,
exhausted.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, finally.
She's out of
the
the shot, I guess, now.
Mum.
She's just down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we're going to live well and live long, how lucky we are.
Yes.
Those are the things that feed back into who you
Yes.
are. Yeah.
And one thing I have learned just from watching, Accelerating and you, is that the expectation placed on people, you don't project it. You go in there and you go, okay, this is a new day, how can I help? That's really it, right?
Yeah.
If you go in there saying, okay, here's our checklist, we need to, hit this measure, have this outcome, this kind of goal, there's an element of that, but it's by no means what keeps the thing alive, because you have to adapt every day. Every day someone new comes in with a different problem, something that hasn't been explored before. Oh my gosh, but you're getting better at juggling, hey.
But it's the learning.
It is, but you have to learn on the go. And I think this is where an organisation in the traditional sense cannot cope with something like that. They want a neat little, it has to be this demographic with this kind of problem, and we have these kind of measures to sort them out, kind of thing. That's 3 out of 50. So all the other ones we cannot cater for. Whereas a place that embraces everyone, and this is why it's so damn difficult, has to take their time, but doesn't get the support because you don't fit a neat box, right?
Yeah.
And this is the challenge it's always been.
Exciting.
How
Somebody
dare you
says
be
this. Yes.
an omni place, Life is complicated. It's not black and white. It's not one little box. It's 20 boxes in a row, or it's 100 boxes in a row. And it's not neat and tidy, but it just has to come from a good place, right?
Yeah.
That's what I see anyway. Sorry, I'm rambling. This is meant to be about you.
Rambling, no. It's mutual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do we, because that's how do we amplify what we're doing? And I think that's possibly the most exciting thing for me right now is with the My River app.
Yes.
And the work that we've been doing there. And now we've got we've got some partners that are helping us grow that, so we can take what our community's learned and our community gets to share what they've learned, and how do we project people into a better life.
Yeah.
And using technology.
Yes.
I mean, it all feels like it's come home to roost. Yeah. mind you, this has been another 20-year version journey with that too.
Well, technology, right? I mean, it's Accelerating Auckland started as a technology hub, so giving people access to computers and programs, upskilling them on
We're supposed
technology.
to teach kids how to make websites. Well, really? I mean, that's what Tony used to do, and teach them how to do things, like create a video. And
Yes.
I mean, that's always fun stuff, but it doesn't address the hole in my heart. And the hole in the heart has to be, for our kids, we've got to help that hole, rebuild the mana first, before anyone's ever going to go to school.
Well, that's a whole nother problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the solution? In 2 sentences or less.
Bugger off. 2 words. Wish I knew, eh?
$3 trillion. That's the solution.
No, I think it's...
No,
maybe
I
we
know.
should run a retreat for corporate people, because I sometimes in jest I say I'm a corporate refugee,
Yes.
but we could have like a corporate refugee camp, so people would like open their eyes to a whole new thing.
To be honest, if money was no object, you'd build a community around being a community. Like, here's housing, here's food, here's expectations.
Here's medical help, here's social help.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you also then say, in order for you to benefit from this, you need to be part of the whole as well.
Yeah.
You can't just sit there and have everything given to you.
Yeah.
It has to be, and this is kind of what's missing, it's easy come, easy go, isn't it? It's probably a bit simplistic to say that, but when you have expectations of someone, and someone has a pride in having earned something, the earning side of it. I mean, we do that we work hard in order to get a certain outcome and pay rent and buy food kind of thing. How do we do that and make it meaningful? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, but I think you're missing a little bit. Did you ever do sociology?
No, not at all.
So there was this
No, I
dude
mean-
called Maslow.
Yeah.
I don't know where, maybe 1930 or something like that. He said there's a few things that people need before they can even start thinking about that kind of stuff.
Yes, okay.
One of them's food.
Yes.
Another one's somewhere to stay, a
Yes.
roof over your head.
Yes.
Another one's some clothes.
Yes.
And then it
goes from
goes
there.
up, the hierarchy of needs.
Yes.
But until you've got a sense, something to eat, and
Yes.
somewhere to sleep, and some clothes to put on.
And safety, right?
Yeah. Then you can't start, because that safety thing comes with a sense of wanting to live too.
Yes.
I mean, you see some of our visitors, some of our people that were coming in, they just haven't even got that.
No. And that's another thing that your small little oasis provides is a little bit of safety for a lot of people
Well, that's
that
what people
don't
say.
have that
This
on
is
there.
my safe place. Which is, just see Tony fighting off the angry husbands that come in. It's quite impressive. If you want some entertainment one day.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's a big thing, just being able to
Safety.
feel safe.
Yeah.
You can't grow if you're just surviving. Yeah.
But none of these things will happen without partners, and that's why we're so lucky to, with that Wednesday Wellness, bringing Mercury together with, Tamaki Health or the Total Healthcare PHO and with the local lawyers and all of those people coming together. They're all there for the same reason. They really are, to try and bring the things to create that baseline for whānau. Because, why don't you pay your power bill? Well, because I can't work out how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you go to the doctor and find out that you've got bowel cancer? Oh, I never got around to it. Why don't you get your kids immunised? Oh, it's too hard.
Yeah.
So, but if you bring all those things together and make things community-centric, delivering services from a community base, and that's not just creating a fortress like some of our government departments do inside communities, you've got to be part of. Yeah.
Well,
so I think,
systematized.
before we go to school, we have to have enough to eat
Yes.
and feel safe and somewhere to stay and some clothes to wear.
Yeah.
And so nobody seems to be looking after that stuff. In fact, it seems
Or not to
be.
the volume that is required, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But it is a huge problem, and the only thing you can do is do your own bit, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. If there were more people who are just giving up the greedy life of bigger houses or making more money,
I think we're going full circle now. Yeah.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is.
Yeah, it is.
But that's why we're going to have our corporate retreat.
Yeah, well,
we teach people how to think about something else.
I mean,
Apart from
ideally, it would be
the next
it would
car.
be like a little village, like
Yeah.
that is being looked after. So you've got all those cares, so you've got the space to be able to, but you can't just give it for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, or even a year, and then expect them to then push them out into the world. Well, now the
you're on your
foundation's
own.
gone, you're on your own again. So the whole foundational system. That's the tough one to crack, isn't it? How do we teach that and maintain it?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
How do we do it, Judy?
Well, take each step one day at a time.
Absolutely. That's the only thing you can do.
Get out of bed and go, yep, okay, this is what's going to happen today. This is what's going to happen today.
Yeah. So
Tomorrow.
speaking of foundation, how do you think your kids have benefited from the work you do?
Well, of course, they were both made to come and help with the holiday programs when they were little.
So they resent you for it. Okay.
No, I mean,
No.
I listened to my, we went to see our daughter present on at a conference on Saturday, and here she is, standing in front of all these people, very relaxed, talking about her PhD and what she's learned, and she's a very balanced, connected person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I see that, and I see in my son who's confidently breaking up Auckland streets and insisting that we all throw our petrol cars out.
Okay.
And we use public transport.
Okay.
So
My son's kind of similar to that.
yes. and I take great joy actually in taking the bus into town. It's a much if you've got a single destination a day, public transport, and the public transport goes there.
Yes. That's it.
Taking the bus is good, and it works
Couple of
very well
ifs
for
to
us
kind of-
going into town. But yeah, the ifs, and the if doesn't work because this city hasn't been designed that way. But you think about being some of the capitals around, or big cities around the world, and the public transport's overwhelming. I mean, Moscow, apart from the fact you have to get your head around the Cyrillics,
Yes.
it's just amazing once you get in.
Yeah.
You have to get into the country first.
Yes.
But yeah,
Well, like even Europe, like like the London Underground, it's designed to move your people around where they need to go without having to have to pay for parking or have a car. And I don't know, for Auckland to go forward, that would be great, isn't it? To open up the city to easy to get to.
well, we've got the City Rail link opening in the next few months, or this year anyway. Yeah, and so how do my children respond? They're people of the people.
Yeah.
And that's another whakatauki, which is a nice thing. People talk about he tangata. What is it that's important?
Yes. Okay.
It's about the people.
Yes.
And they understand that, and it's about how we live in our environments, and they both understand that, and I'm so honoured and proud to be their parent.
Oh, that's wonderful. Gotta love your kids, yeah. You've heard it here first. Crying on the couch.
Tears. Kiss
Tears
the
of
dog,
joy.
cry for your kids.
Have it all. I've never
Yeah.
talked so much on a podcast, so I apologise for that.
It's all right. I like it.
Hitting
Like
an
you
open
said, it's a
thumb.
conversation.
Yeah, totally. And we both care deeply about the people around us and wanting to be the best that they can be. And we do it in very different ways. In some ways, we do it together.
Yeah.
And I think, it took me a long time to actually understand, because before I even knew about Accelerating, I thought, well, how can I help? I'm not from that. I've spent my life trying to make a career and look after my family and my very immediate. I never really had a broader social or community sense.
Especially being a newcomer to Aotearoa as well.
Well, yeah, but that was 20 years ago. I've got no excuses anymore, do I?
No,
And if you're part of the...
I'm not offering you a
No, but if you're part of the corporate rat race in just wanting to achieve, and your best mates are your colleagues because you don't really have anything outside of that, it was really difficult to, how can I want to help, but I don't know who to go to. Even just going through community, I don't want to assign myself to a church, or I don't want to join Toastmasters. I just want to...
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I just want to have, person-to-person contact. Do I go to a soup kitchen? I don't even know what they exist. How places like that exist. I mean, I came to you through a friend, which
I do remember that first time you came, though.
do you?
Yes. You and Will were chatting away, and I ended up with the other guy.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah.
That's
Is
right.
he still around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I haven't seen him
still
since,
in
I
the
don't
corporate game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
an initial thing, and
Yeah.
I thought,
Did it
wow.
grab you then? Were you interested? Could you see? Maybe not.
Well,
Maybe it was a quiet
we went
day.
there looking for studio space.
Oh,
I
that's
said
right.
to Will, and Will said, "Oh, we've got some space there. Do you want to have a look and see if there's
Yeah.
something you can maybe do? Run a course on editing or something like that, being in the TV business."
Yeah.
But what got me though, and I think a lot of people that are still in your orbit will say that, is your passion for the project. You sold it.
Really?
You sold it. Yeah. I said,
Okay.
wow, what an amazing
Well, I need to
person.
do more of that, obviously.
Well, exactly. You shouldn't sweat the small stuff. You should be out there selling your passion, because that's the infectious part. So imagine there's another 50 like me running around accelerating. Then,
Just imagine.
yeah, just imagine. Well, they come.
Yeah.
And everything
They
has
do
its own
come.
energy, though, isn't it? It's like what we were saying earlier. You live your truth, and your truth is aligning with my truth at the
Yeah.
moment. And
Don't give me
there'll be
that limited,
others.
for a limited time only. I'm not interested in limited time only.
Sorry, it is.
aligns with-
That's it.
Oh, what else are you planning to do?
No, well, nothing.
Good.
But
I'll
I'm
keep you
open to
busy.
whatever
Yeah.
comes, right? I'm open to
Yeah.
grow
Yeah.
in that direction. I'm also open to grow in other, if whatever calls to me, right?
Yeah.
I think we still need to be open, and I wouldn't appreciate it if it was forever.
Yeah. Well, there needs to be what happens next, and that's what I'm thinking about all the time. And, I think there's from time to time, we've talked about that young woman, and there's
Yeah.
other people a little bit older than her.
Oh,
Have I had more kisses than any other person on your
it's
couch?
around lunchtime because it's treat time, and
Oh,
she
so
hasn't
she
been
thinks
given
I
a
might
treat
have
yet.
been
So
eating
she's just gently reminding us
She
that.
thinks I've been eating that dog food
Yeah,
again.
possibly. Yeah. You smell like those treats.
I found them, though. I found them. I could out myself on the podcast. Should we close?
And you know what? The good thing is about these podcasts too, and Will was actually the person who said that, is that your kids can see this, and they can see some of the things in your thoughts of what their parent has done and their belief behind it, and that is now something for them to reference in the future, and even if you're going to have grandchildren in the future, or their generation, something like this, an honest conversation about who someone is kind of like I don't know. I think it's very valuable,
Yeah.
because we're in a throwaway
yeah.
society. You've got 1,000 photos on your phone, but you're never going to go through and
No, of course you're not. Unless you're
them
really
through,
bored.
or
Unless you're waiting at the doctor's.
yeah, as you're waiting at the doctor's. Oh, the good old days. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I think having the opportunity to contribute to things that are real,
Yeah.
that is it. That is the thing.
So someone who wants to get into this space, what would you tell them, Judy? How can they help?
Depends what your other obligations are. How can they help? How can they help us?
Yeah.
Well,
Say someone in their 50s has had a pretty good career, who's just think,
Yeah.
this is all bullshit. I want to start, being part of
Yeah.
society and community again.
yeah.
What do they do?
Well, I don't know. Come and have a look at the kind of things that are going on. Come and have a sniff.
But where do they even
sniff.
start?
Well, they could come to us.
Yes.
Accelerating Aotearoa.
Yeah. Judy's always ready for a chat. And,
Yeah. Bring a coffee, oat flat white.
Yeah. Oat flat white.
Yes. Yeah. And don't bother with the cake, because I won't eat it, because I can't. Really. I shouldn't.
Shouldn't. Not can't, shouldn't.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. Come and have a look.
Yeah.
Come and have a look at what we're doing, because I think I try and take a deep breath and look over my shoulder sometimes and think, "Gosh, actually, we have come quite a long way."
Yes. Yeah.
But not without the blood, sweat and tears. And that's probably the biggest thing, is that there are sacrifices to be made, and it
Yes.
depends how important the new car is, how the new phone, the bigger house, the house next door. But that's all bullshit.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It is all bullshit. And you would be aware of it, one of your proteges, Vinny from Accelerating Aotearoa, he was on the couch here.
Yeah, of course
And,
he was. I've
he
seen
was
him.
a person that
I haven't watched
wasn't-
enough of him yet,
But he was a person who's really grown, from
I'm just
being
overjoyed.
humble or,
Yeah.
being a bit standoffish. He's running conversations now. He's out there.
I saw him
he's
the other
learning
day
his
with
skill.
John Pulu, and because I got to be the switcher, I probably managed.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm not the greatest tech support, but
Doesn't matter, yeah.
no, I hope it doesn't matter too much. But I just so enjoyed watching, Vinny live, the Vinny
Yes.
show with John Pulu.
Yeah.
And, John's had several interviews over the years with us, podcasts,
Yes.
and one of our first, actually, during COVID was our first one when he did it with Jar.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I overjoyed by the person that Vinny's growing into, his confidence, his humour, his skills,
Yes.
it's just lovely.
And humility too.
Yeah.
He generally loves people.
Yeah.
And wants the best for them.
Feels like we helped him find a door to get out of, really. Yeah.
And all he needed was a vehicle to express that. And all of a sudden you have this beautiful soul
Yeah.
spreading the word, mixing it. And what I loved about it is that I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I didn't need to be there.
Yeah, but you did give him some keys.
No, I'll give them, but that's it. You give the
Yeah.
keys and then on
Yeah,
their
there it
merry
is.
way, right?
Absolutely.
Like kids, isn't it?
It is like kids. That is like having hundreds of children.
Yeah.
that we don't need anymore.
No.
No.
Just, make them the best that they can be with the ones we've got, hey.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Judy. It's been a pleasure talking to you on the couch, and I'm sure that some people will get some good ideas, and hopefully they'll be inspired to, give back to the
along,
community
yeah.
and society.
Will become a better version of themselves is the whole opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, more rounded. You're not just this. You're not just what you do, or what your immediate family
What you're
unit is.
driving.
You've got so much more to give, and there's so much more to learn about the world. Get out of your little bubble and see what other people are going through. But it's not about the pity. It's just, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, they're coping like that. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
It gives you so many different viewpoints of how you handle life. And there's such a richness to that. That's what I've found.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you so much, Dan. Really
Right.
enjoyed being here.
Thank you,
We
Judy.
don't need to shake hands. We don't shake hands.
We fist pump.
No, we don't mean hug.
There we go. Oh, well done, Judy. Thank you.
Out in space!